Hello, and welcome to the fourth lesson in DeTech Theory's Introductory Programming course. Today we're going to be talking about IfElse statements and a couple of other things along the way. First, we're going to talk about string methods that you will see and used often throughout this course. First, there's the length method. This method returns the number of characters or the length of the string as an int. The substring method returns a portion of a string, starting from index 1 and ending at index 2, since the method parameter takes the value of an index plus 1 at the end of the substring. So it's going to always return the substring ending at the index minus 1 of the second number that you put in to the method. The substring method can also take a single index to show where the substring begins. In this case, the end of the substring is the end of the original string. Think of each character in a string as being assigned at a number starting from 0. Each consecutive character, including spaces, is assigned the consecutive integer, and those are the indices. You will see an example of this on the next slide right over here. So the string aliens is written above, with each consecutive index corresponding to a consecutive letter. Index 0 is A, index 1 is L, etc. S.length returns the length of S, which is 6 characters long. Remember, the indices do not correspond to the length of the string. S.substring 4 returns the characters in between index 1 and index 4 minus 1, which is 3. So it will return LIE, which is the indices 1, 2, and 3. S.substring 6 returns aliens, since it begins at the index corresponding to the first character, and the final index is 6 minus 1, or 5. S.substring 1 returns LIENS, index 1 to the end of the word. So, now going on to the main content of today's lesson. What are if-else statements? We use something called if-else statements to control the flow or the order in which a program is executed. If-else statements are exactly what they sound like. First, we ask if a condition is met, and if so, we execute a command. Or else, we execute a different command. Programs run in a linear fashion. This means that a program will read each line of code consecutively. By introducing if-else statements, we can manipulate the flow. First, we introduce a test condition. In non-programming terms, this is a question such as, is it daytime? If this statement is true, the program proceeds to the body of the if statement, which might be something like print hello world. If this statement is false, the program proceeds to the body of the else statement, which might be a command like print goodbye world or goodnight world. As discussed in the previous lesson, Java has 6 relational operators, which can be used to compare all primitive data types. There's less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and not equal to. Note that equal is an operator that tests equality, while a single equal sign is the assignment operator. Although the string data type is treated in many ways like a primitive data type, such as int, we must remember that it is not. In order to test the equality of two strings, we use the equals method. If this, a string variable, equals other, a string literal or variable, the method returns the Boolean value true, else it returns the value false. Logical operators are also used in the condition of an if-else statement. For instance, the command might be if the value of x is less than 7 and the value of x is greater than 0, return true. The not operator flips the Boolean value returned by the comparison of two values or objects. If, for example, the condition executed to true, the not operator, which is the exclamation point, would change the value to false. The AND operator requires both conditions to be true in order for the entire condition to be true. For example, x must be positive and even in order for a statement to execute to true. The OR operator requires only one condition to be true in order for the entire statement to be true. For example, x must be positive or even. The order of precedence is not and or. So exclamation point, 2 and signs, or the 2 lines. So to use less memory storage and to make the program run faster, the program will short circuit when a condition is met. If, for example, an if statement evaluates to true, the computer will not bother reading the else statement. Additionally, if the first part of an or statement evaluates to true, because only one part must be true, the second condition will not be tested. Even if the second condition is an incorrectly written piece of code, the program may compile if the first condition is met, since the computer will short circuit and not check this incorrectly written statement. DeMorgans Law explores how the Boolean value of relational statements changes based on the application of the not operator. So we have a couple of examples here. The Boolean variable x is assigned true and y is assigned false. Not x is not true, which is false. Not y is not false, which is true. We have a whole bunch of other examples, so I suggest you pause and try to figure them out yourself and look at the answers once you've figured them out. And here are the answers. Here we have another example. First, we're going to try the situation where x is assigned the variable 10, okay? So first we're going to check the if statement. 10 is not less than 10, so that will evaluate to false. 10 does not equal 8, so that will evaluate to true. Then, because the overall if statement is true, we'll proceed to the body of the if statement, which will print good. Now we're going to try the example where int x equals or is assigned 8. First, we'll check the if statement. 8 is less than 10. That's true. So we'll move immediately to the body of the if statement and not check the other condition. The body of the if statement will print out the word good. Let's talk a bit about else if statements. While we could write consecutive if statements to test different conditions, that would take up more memory storage and time when the program runs. To increase efficiency, we use else if statements. These statements function almost identically to an if statement. However, they must occur directly after an if statement and will not be evaluated if the if statement evaluates to true, as the computer will short circuit and skip the else if statement. Essentially, they function like else statements, but you can put a specific condition within the parentheses. Here we have another example. I'm going to pause here and let you try to figure it out yourself, and we'll go over the answers in a minute. So question A assigns the variable x 7 and the variable y 4. First, we check the if statement. 7 equals 4 plus 3. So we will get the statement printing out to true. We will short circuit and not check the else if or the else statement because that's what the computer will do. And you can try part B by yourself. That will evaluate to false. So we use braces to be able to add more than one command after an if or else statement. Although the first line after an if or else statement is immediately interpreted as the command or the body of the if or else statement, all following lines are treated as outside of the condition since Java is not space sensitive, and they will be executed regardless of whether the condition is met. By including an open brace at the beginning of the if body and a closed one at the end, we signify that both lines 2 and 3, as written here, will be part of the if body. Remember that Java is not space sensitive, so even if the body of the if and else statements are indented, only the first line will be treated as the body and all others as independent if you do not include braces. Braces also allow us to make nested if-else statements, where the body of the if or else statement contains another if or else statement. So in the example, let's have x is assigned 0 and y is assigned -3. So first we're going to check the if statement. So x is 0 equals -3 plus 3, and that's true. So that will evaluate to true. We will move on to check the nested if statement. 0 plus -3 is greater than 0 is false. So we will default to the else statement, which will print out y. That'll print -3. The outer else statement will not be checked because our program will short circuit because the outer if statement was true. So here's a couple more examples. I will pause here and then pull up the answers. So question A, the answer is too late. Question B, the answer is also too late. And answer C is hi aliens. So thank you for joining us. That's all we will cover for this week, lesson 4. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you again next time. Thank you so much.